Tamu and the Great Elephant's Lesson. In the heart of the vast African savanna, there lived a mighty elephant named Tamu. Tamu was the largest and strongest elephant anyone had ever seen, and he was known for his long, gleaming tusks that stretched farther than any other elephants in the land. His tusks were so grand that animals from across the savanna would come to admire them. But as strong and powerful as Tamu was, he had a problem. He held on to grudges. If another animal made a mistake or upset him, Tamu would never forget. He had a hard time forgiving, and it made him feel heavy inside, as if he was carrying a great weight. One day, a group of animals gathered by the riverbank, preparing for the Great Crossing. It was a yearly event where the animals worked together to carry water from the river to their homes during the dry season. Elephants, zebras, gazelles, and even small monkeys would help, all playing their part in this important task. Tamu was especially proud to be leading the elephants this year, his tusks glistening in the sunlight. But as they began the work, something unexpected happened. A young elephant named Kito, who admired Tamu greatly, accidentally bumped into him while carrying a large bucket of water. The bucket spilled, drenching Tamu's legs with mud and water. "Watch where you're going," Tamu roared, his voice thundering across the savanna. Kito's ears drooped, and he looked down in shame. "I'm sorry, Tamu," he whispered. It was an accident, but Tamu wasn't ready to forgive. "You should have been more careful," he snapped. "Now look at the mess you've made." The other animals watched silently, unsure of what to do. Tamu turned away from Kito, unwilling to let go of his anger. Kito, feeling terrible, quietly stepped away from the group. The day went on, but as Tamu carried more and more water, he felt something gnawing at him. The weight of his anger was making the work harder, and he noticed the other animals weren't smiling or laughing like they usually did during the Great Crossing. As the sun began to set, Tamu realized that he had made a mistake. Kito's spill had been an accident, and by holding on to his grudge, Tamu had only made the day harder for everyone. He sighed heavily, the weight in his heart growing. That evening, as the animals gathered under the stars to rest, Tamu saw Kito sitting alone by the river, still looking sad. With a deep breath, Tamu approached the young elephant. "Kito," he said softly, "I'm sorry for how I reacted earlier. I shouldn't have been so hard on you. It was just an accident." Kito looked up, surprised. "You're apologizing to me?" Tamu nodded, feeling lighter as he spoke.
Yes.
"I've realized that holding on to my anger didn't help anyone. I should have forgiven you right away." A small smile spread across Kito's face. "Tamu, Tamu. I was just trying to help." "I know," Tamu said, placing his large trunk on Kito's shoulder. "We all make mistakes. It's important to forgive and move on." The next morning, the animals prepared to continue their work. But this time, something was different. Tamu, feeling a new sense of gratitude, looked around at all the animals who were working so hard together. He realized how fortunate they were to have each other. Without teamwork, none of them could carry enough water to survive the dry season. He gathered all the animals around him. "I've been thinking," he began, his deep voice gentle. "Yesterday, I let my anger get in the way of what's important, working together. But today, I want to thank each of you. We wouldn't be able to do this without one another. Every single one of you plays a part in this, and I'm grateful for that." The animals smiled, feeling a sense of unity. Even Kito beamed with pride, happy to be part of the team. With renewed energy and a spirit of cooperation, the animals worked together, side by side. The elephants carried the heavy water buckets, the zebras helped guide the path, and the monkeys climbed the trees to scout the way. Everyone contributed, and the work went smoother than ever before. At the end of the day, as the animals celebrated their success, Tamu looked around with a full heart. He had learned 3 important lessons: the value of forgiveness, the joy of gratitude, and the power of teamwork. As the sun set behind the hills, casting a golden glow over the savanna, Tamu realized that true strength wasn't just about his size or his long tusks. True strength came from kindness, from forgiving others when they made mistakes, and from working together to achieve great things. And from that day on, Tamu was known not only as the mightiest elephant with the longest tusks, but also as the wisest, for he understood that life was not about holding grudges, but about sharing gratitude, forgiving easily, and always working as a team.